Oh, I'm gonna have an angry rant at the end of this video. This is the second time that this crap has happened this year, at least. I can remember one other big one. Oh, you're gonna see it in the video, and then I'm gonna rant about it at the end. Looking at ACAD here, gonna get in at 2285, just a small starter. Gonna add in there, starting with small ones on this one because I don't want to miss it. So that's kind of looking at that as kind of my initial entry here, in at 2308 with 200. And we'll see what it does from here. Okay, watching it for an ad now. I think it's up through the 80s. Okay, gonna add in here. Now 400 at 2344. See if it pops through 24. Uh-oh. Am I out of buying power? I didn't realize I was going to have such small buying power on this.
Academic missed my exit. What a sad face.
Alright, so I am in. Unfortunately, don't have the buying power to do what I want on this. So I'm in 600 shares short here at 2382. Can't do the averaging like I want, so maybe in for a big loser here. What are we in? 2382. See if it can come down, otherwise may just be looking at a big loss on this one. Okay, kind of kick it back down here. It's under 2380. I'll take a good chunk off. Otherwise, stop now at the highs. And that's a shame because I had been able to play this how I wanted. That would have been in the money there easily. That's frustrating. Why would this one be so low on the buying power? Alright, see if we can get down under 2380. Might be about to get stopped out, though, just for that big loss if it comes back up through the highs. Not going to stick around if it does, unfortunately. Drag it up like 2 cents, just in case. And gonna get stopped here. And stopped out. So that's really frustrating because... yeah, that's really frustrating just because on that move, had I been able to not have the buying power issues there, that would have been the nice win. But when I had those buying power issues, just couldn't play this how I intended anymore. My average would have been up around 24.20. As it is, it's a $620 loss, which is real frustrating. So there it is. I'm done trading for the day just because I have way too much anger going on inside of my body right now to trade how I'm supposed to, which is the frustrating thing because I traded ACAT exactly how I'm supposed to according to my plan, but because of these stupid ass buying power restrictions that are so overly restrictive, and there's the biggest problem is there's no easy way to know what they are going into it without spending the time every single trade to put an order out way above where you intend with ridiculous share size, and then 90% of the time you end up missing the trade because of that. There's no easy way to know what those restrictions are, and those restrictions are so ridiculous. I had a total of $15,000, a little bit less actually in this trade. So well within my own money in my account, not even close to using margin. I know it's a short, so it's all margin, blah, blah, blah. But still, it is so frustrating when you get restrictions like that and it prevents you from being able to trade how you plan to trade. So I would have been much, much more okay if I was able to trade this the way that I wanted to and just ended up getting stopped out, which would have been a bigger loss because it didn't work. At least fine, then it was, that one just didn't work or I got it wrong, whatever it may be. But when it's because you get a restriction placed on a certain trade and you don't know about it and you can't trade how you want, and then on top of that, it would have worked out. The worst case scenario for this thing would have been it came down on that nice big drop. I took a partial for a smaller amount of a win, trying to leave a couple hundred shares on for that to go, and then those couple hundred shares came out and got stopped out at a loss, and I'm probably small green to break even. So that should have been like the worst case scenario of what happened on this particular trade. But then because of those restrictions, it's a $620 loss, which the money part is fine. It's well within, my risk parameters, even at that, where the loss is. Would have probably been like 800 or so had I been able to trade it how I wanted and it just didn't work. So even that would have been completely fine within my risk parameters. But just to have that loss come when you've played everything how you're supposed to, even once it didn't work, I put the stop in there at the highs like I'm supposed to. Didn't get frustrated and just try and hold and hope, and then have it go even further against me and become a bigger loss. So it's just, man, that's so frustrating. So that's going to pretty much take away any chances of hitting five figures on the year. It was going to be close, but that loss is going to pretty much take that away. Plus, if you factor in the one other big loss I had earlier this year, probably around, I don't know, June, May, somewhere in there, on another buying power restriction issue, I'm probably looking at like $2,000 this year that I've lost just because of those restrictions in place, and there's no easy way to know about them. So that is really just so frustrating when I could easily have another $2,000 in my account at worst. Like, that's just if I didn't lose on those trades where they would have been winners, both of them. That's just if I didn't lose. So, I'd easily be over the five-figure mark for the year had these stupid restrictions not been in place. I mean, I get it. You need to put restrictions on stuff, but make it easy to know what they are. And the fact that it's so restrictive on some of these, where you're into, you can't even use all of your own cash for the price that it costs. I know. Don't get into the whole shorting thing and how it works. I get it. I understand that part. But in no chance with, using my own restrictions there is it going to end up costing the broker or anything. One, because I have a broker hard stop in place at a certain dollar amount. Two, because you just, if it, I'm going to stop ranting now because I'm getting angrier than I have been. I've been sitting here fuming for a while now and could have probably taken another trade or two, but just didn't want to do it when emotionally and not there. So I'm going to move on to tomorrow, try and work it off at the gym and go from there. So hopefully you guys had a better day. I'll see you later.